Idaho Sports Talk with Prater and the Ballgame. You just can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them. Mike Prater and Johnny Mallory on Sports Radio 95.3 FM and 1350 AM. The Ticket.
What's going on? Welcome back. Idaho Sports Talk. Prater in the Ballgame. Thankfully for Bob Beeler, Prater's out. Bob is filled in for me yesterday, filled in for Prater today. That's versatility, Bob. I like it.
Yep.
I like it.
I'm trying to be the Avery Williams of the station.
And that you are. I think you're going to block a punt next segment, and then you're going to return a kickoff to the house at 5 o'clock. Stay tuned for that. JP, I'm wearing this stupid cap and gown, but yeah, we're really going to do this.
We're doing this. Johnny, I think he looks good. Don't you, Bob?
Yes, I do.
If you are listening on the radio, you need to go to our video stream on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, because Johnny is wearing a green, actually it's the Bora cap and gown. It's the only one I had access to. But Johnny is going to deliver a little bit of a commencement speech. Some advice, if you will, to send the 2022 graduates out into the real world. Who could do it any better than Johnny? I don't think anybody. Are you ready? Johnny, are you feeling this? All right, we have a special introduction for you. You ready? Here we go.
Hello? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, and most importantly, the class of 2022, please welcome your commencement speaker for today's ceremony. Idaho Sports Talk with Prater and the Ballgame on Sports Radio, The Ticket. It's Johnny Ballgame.
Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. Be seated. Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, first off, yes. Is this an honor? Kind of. Did they pay me? Maybe. Nonetheless, I'm here to wish all of the class of 22 graduates a journey, if you will, that you're going to be on. I'm here to wish you well in that regard, and I'm going to give you some tips along the way. So let me just start by saying, enjoy the journey. Because at some point in life, you are going to realize that the journey is actually the destination. All right? I know that's deep, students, but bear with me on this, because that's what's going to happen. The journey is, in fact, the destination. So I want you to own it. I want you to enjoy it. And I want you to check your flippin' ego at the stinking door. Yeah, I get it. You graduated. Cool beans, duder. But there's still people, a lot of people out there that are of much higher intelligence than you. A lot. So I want you to find a mentor. Find mentors. Learn from people more educated and more intelligent than you. And part of that is checking your stinking ego. Look, it's going to be much better. The journey. That's what I'm talking about here. Your journey in life, it starts today, damn it. And it's what you make of it. It's going to be much better also, not only if you accept having mentors be a part of this stinking thing, but also if you bring others along the way. This isn't Burger King. You can't have it your way all the time. Be ready to start at the bottom. Expect to start at the Sir Mix-a-Lot baby got back size butt bottom. Just how I like them. So be willing to work your way up and bring others along with you. Yeah, you're going to get help. You're going to need help. We all need help. JP asks for help every single day, almost constantly. JP's my producer. He's okay. I might get into him a little later. It's not just about you, right? And if it is, dude, don't make it just about you. And I heard one person say in one of these speeches once, he said, get in there. And I never forgot that. Because if you're standing in the back, if you're standing in the corner and just waiting for someone to give you a shot, well, you might be waiting a lot longer than you expect. You got to get in there, man. Make it happen. I don't care what you want to do with your life. My dad once said, Johnny, you're an idiot. Your life is not just going to work itself out. I was like 20-something, still living at home, and he was like, get out of here. Go do something with your life. And I did, or maybe so. So let me get to the part of the speech for the real advice. Grab a pen. Type this into your phone, if you will. You're going to get, maybe some of you yahoos are working right now. Good for you. I don't think enough high school kids have jobs these days. I worked at a golf course when I was in high school. Didn't help my swing, but I made a couple of bucks. What you need to do is get a job, right? And when you do, I have some advice. Because there's going to be a lot of great things, right? They say, what? Stop and smell the roses. I say, enjoy the journey. Well, when you have to work and you're going to have to stinking work, sometimes it's harder to enjoy the journey. Two things in my life, pivotal life moments that happened to me, were getting out of work when I was supposed to be there. It wouldn't have happened if I would have had to go to work that day. And it's not easy just to call in and say, hey, boss, I'm not feeling well. I can't come in today. A lot of people, especially if you're like me, they won't buy that, dude. So the first thing is, teach yourself, and I know this is childish and crazy, teach yourself how to puke on call. Maybe you need to drink a big glass of water. Maybe you need to picture something grotesque in your head that gives you the heebie-jeebies and the willies and the chilies, and you just need to Ralph it up. But I've had a pivotal moment happen in my life that I didn't need to be at work that day, and I knew they weren't going to let me go if I asked. So I went to the break room, and I chugged a whole bunch of water, as much as I could chug. And then I went on the sales floor, close by it, okay? And I puked it up. And the boss said, Johnny, okay. And I'm like, I'm not feeling well. And go to work saying, I'm not feeling that well, boss, but you know me, I'm a great employee, so I'm going to tough it out. And then later on in the shift, you puke it up, man. No manager is going to make you stay at work after you puke. Puke and rally. Yeah, you do that for the fun stuff in life, not in work. So be able to puke on call. That's a big one for me. The other one, fake an injury. I fell off a ladder at a sporting goods store once on purpose because there was an NFL playoff game going on, and I wanted to go home and watch it. And yeah, did it hurt? Kinda. Does it still hurt? Hell no. Did I get to watch the Music City Miracle, one of the great wild card games in the history of the NFL? Home run throwback? Kevin Dyson running down the sidelines? No. I would have been at work selling shoes, man. I fell off a ladder. Not only did they tell me to go home, they paid me for the rest of the weekend. I didn't have to go back the next couple days. So be willing, be ready, get in there in life. And if you really need something, if it's that big a deal, man, be willing to fall off a ladder. Be willing to puke in the break room. You know, those are the little moments that are going to end up being the big things. You might laugh at me now, but I'm telling you, that's what life is about. You don't need to be there clocked in all the damn time, especially if you're going to enjoy the journey, and especially if the journey ends up being the destination. So do whatever you can on your journey to make it the destination, to have a little stinking fun, man, and watch football playoff games. And gambling, I leave you with this. Know when a gambling bet is too good to be true, because it is. The most money I've ever lost gambling on sports are the most confident bets I've ever made. I was laughing before the game even ended. I'll tell you one of them. Boise State, BYU this past year. I still don't know how the spread was what it was. I still don't know how Boise State won. When it's too good to be true, it is. Lay off on those bets. Dabble in parlays, and most importantly, have some fun. Students, to the class of 2022, from Johnny Ballgame to you, enjoy the journey and remember, the journey is the destination. Thank you.
I'm so emotional right now, Johnny. That was beautiful.
That was
Are you, Bob? Are you okay over there?
Hey, that I think's the best commencement speech that I've heard since Thornton Mellon.
back to school, Rodney Dangerfield. Well said, Bob. That's an honor. That means I'm basically a first ballot commencement speech Hall of Famer. Honest feedback, 208-424-9300 on the Cloverdale Plumbing text line. I had a couple of notes, but that was, and it probably showed because it probably sucked, but that was total impromptu.
Beautiful. It was beautiful. Some life
Did
lessons.
I deliver the segment for you, JP?
You did.
You've been asking me to do this thing all damn week. I want you to give a speech. I'm like, oh, dude, I don't wait, speech, man. What are you talking about?
The graduates took away three things: fake an injury, fake being sick, and know how to bet.
Know how to puke,
three things that they can take.
Learning how to puke is a developed skill. It is. It is. Fall off the damn ladder if you really want to go home and watch the NFL playoffs when you have to work on Wild Card Weekend, Bobby.
I can picture that in my head. And I know the exact game you went and saw.
Yeah, the Music City Miracle.
Classic game.
It was one of the great games. I would have been at work. I wouldn't have watched that.
I was at work that day.
You were?
Yeah, I didn't see the game.
And it was one of those things. I'm standing on a ladder, and he was handing me snowboard boots, and I was putting the snowboard boots on the shelf, and it was just in my head, like, dude, should I do it? Just fall. Should I just fall? Should I? And I wasn't at the top of the ladder, probably the fourth step. I'm not lying. Yeah, it didn't feel good. But at one time, I acted like I lost the balance of the boots, the big box, and I lost my balance, and I fell off that damn ladder, and they called my mom had to drive to work and pick me up to take me to the emergency room. They put me in a wheelchair in the hospital. And I'm like, dude, did I really do this? I'm sitting in a damn hospital. I had to lie to the doctor where it hurts on my ankle. That's what I said. And he said, okay, well, obviously you can't go back to work. Take like 4 or 5 days off. And he gave me a note. And I'm inside my head, JP, I'm just pumping my fist like, hell yeah. My mom drives me back to work. I tell him the situation. My boss says, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and pay you for this shift, and we're gonna pay you for the next 2. So Bob, at that point, I was like, oh, well, yeah, okay. And I went home, and my mom like waited on me hand and foot all weekend because she didn't want me to stay on my ankle. It was one of the great heists I have ever pulled off in my life, and I saw Wild Card Weekend, the Music City Miracle, because of it. I'm still talking about it 25 years later, Bobby. He's not impressed.
Bobby is impressed.
I am.
He just doesn't know how to think about it. So
I'm just trying to think how you got away with it.
I fell off a ladder, man. How do you change? No, you didn't fall off that ladder. But no, you were kidding. Like,
is this the first time you've let it out in public? So your mom, for the first time, will know
she learned several years ago, and she was really disappointed. She said, "Well, I had a feeling you were." And I was like, "Okay, well,
we better take a break."
JP, get us out of here. JP News. We come back. I love you.
This is Idaho Sports Talk with Prater and the Ballgame on Sports Radio 95.3 FM and 1350